The effects of spreading news through social media. The new divide in news reporting. What is a digital divide? The original definition of a digital divide is the gap between those who do and those who do not have access to new forms of information technology. But according to a census by the government, almost 80% of the American population has internet access. That's up from a mere 50% in 2000. So, where is the divide? I believe that we are now seeing a digital divide in our everyday news reporting. My theory is that our definition of a digital divide in the news world has changed dramatically. The new digital divide is between those who choose to use internet as their news source and those who don't. We get our news from different places like Fox News, CNN, NBC News, Apple News. And these are the news mediums we've been used to seeing our news on. And here's what we're used to it looking like.
Is authorizing an experimental drug for emergency use in coronavirus patients. The drug remdesivir has been getting a lot of attention after a preliminary trial found it helped patients recover more quickly. And now, a new study in Washington state is showing such positive results, they're no longer even using the placebo. Here's Sarah Seidner.
But even these typical news channels are divided, with different organizations reporting the same story in completely different ways.
This is CNN Tonight. I'm Don Lemon. The President of the United States is racist. A lot of us already knew that. I was not shocked that Donald Trump reportedly called the majority of black and Hispanic countries or continents shitholes. I wasn't shocked. I'm not. I'm really not outraged by it. I'm not outraged. I'm tired of being outraged, as a matter of fact.
How the forgotten men and women in America talk at the bar. This is how Trump relates to people. If you're at a bar and you're in Wisconsin and you're thinking they're bringing in a bunch of Haiti people or El Salvadorians or people from Niger, this is how some people talk.
I was there when a young girl named Bee, who'd been trapped in rubble for nearly a day, was rescued by people who had no heavy equipment. They just had their God-given strength and their determination and their courage. I was there when a 5-year-old boy named Monley was rescued after being buried for more than 7 days. Haitians slap your hand hard when they shake it. They look you in the eye. They don't blink. They stand tall, and they have dignity. It's a dignity many in this White House could learn from.
Today, as you doubtless heard during immigration talks, President Trump said something that almost every single person in America actually agrees with. An awful lot of immigrants come to this country from other places that aren't very nice. Those places are dangerous, they're dirty, they're corrupt, and they're poor. And that's the main reason those immigrants are trying to come here.
So the news you're getting relies greatly on where you're getting it from. Therefore, this new divide in news is about what medium, along with what platform or organization we receive our news from. And now more than ever, we can get news from so many different platforms, especially on social media. Here's some examples.
And the facts in this case do not exist.
The serious allegations Joe Biden's addressing for the first time. Hey, it's Lawrence Jackson from NBC News. I'll tell you about that. Plus, the record-breaking surge in gun sales. Joe Biden is obviously the
We now have mediums like News on Facebook,
About a month ago, a former Senate aide named
News for
Tara
You on
Reid
Twitter,
said Biden sexually assaulted.
and Stay Tuned by NBC on Snapchat. So how does getting news from social media affect us? Well, because social media has no true way of censoring what is considered news, this makes us fall victim to fake news, incidental exposure, and furthers the digital divide. So, how does the new digital divide affect us? Well, it doesn't affect all of us the same way, but let's talk about how it affects us as journalists. Scholars found that 85% of journalists in their study use social media professionally. This means that not only are the general public using social media to gain access to news, but journalists are also using social media to distribute news and gain sources regularly. The use of social media for professional reasons has caused a digital divide between journalists who use social media for work and those who don't. This divide relied heavily on the differences between journalists, specifically their age and the type of media they report. The spread of news through social media has left us in a new type of digital divide. A divide between where and how we receive our news. Thank you so much for watching.